There it is. Must be. Is today Tuesday?
It is already. I know.
Oh.
I was feeling it was a Monday, man.
Just it's one of those things where life just keeps going. Right?
Yeah.
Market keeps going. Everything keeps going. Rates are improving, getting worse, improving. Story of my life, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing good, man. A little sleep deprived this morning, but otherwise doing well.
Baby's keeping you up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Those teeth, man. He's 8 months old and still hasn't had one cut through, but
wow,
his gums just look painful. So
sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
A little whiskey helps.
How about you, man? How you doing?
Doing all right. Had to, do some family stuff yesterday and in the afternoon, and unfortunately it was outside in that heat, and so that was pretty warm up there in Sacramento.
Yeah,
out in the ag area. Ags, it just seems like in the ag area of anywhere, the hotter it is, the worse it is, and I think it has to do with like humidity.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say probably the moisture in the ground, right? Just kind of coming up.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. Anyway. Enough nightmares. Anyway, let's talk about some good stuff. Today's show is talking about the new interest in the market, the real estate market.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing myself more and more people looking to buy. Used to be when rates went up, it took about 3 months for people to get used to it. This time, I would say it probably took just a tad longer because we went up so much more than what we were at.
Yeah. And so obviously we see things from two different sides, right? So I see people coming in off the street and
you mean like homeless?
Yeah. Welcome to my open house. No, so I've been holding an open house on this listing I have. And so the last two open houses I've had people that aren't actively in the market. They haven't met with the lender yet, or they just met with the lender and they haven't met an agent yet. And it's just kind of odd, because like the last couple of years, people show up to you and they're ready to rock and roll normally, right? They've already met with you as an agent and you've sent them, sent them to your lender or whatever. So I had 3 people on Saturday that haven't spoken to anybody, that came off the street, just saw the signs and wanted to come by and kind of ask some questions. So I thought that was really encouraging because, as of the last couple of years, anytime someone would show up at an open house, they're going to be hopefully with their agent and they're just looking before they go and write an offer. So,
so you're seeing new people who didn't even start the process yet.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And the 3 of them came through different times, asked a lot of the same questions, like, all
right. So let's go through. What are the questions they normally ask you?
Well, so where do you see the market going? Our home prices going down. Is the market going to collapse? Right.
So everything we've been talking about forever.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could just be like, well, go watch the show, but it's a great chance to talk to people,
Well, did you tell them, hey, my YouTube channel, you can see all my stuff on there, and we kind of break all this down? Did you say that? You should subscribe?
No, I did not. I didn't.
Dude, I all the time say that.
Yeah, okay. I need to remember that. Because people ask a question, I'm like, oh, great, I get to talk to them about this.
Right. No, and there's nothing wrong with it. You want to explain that, but what I'm saying is you can always go, hey, you want to keep up to date. If for some reason you can't get, find, you lose my card or whatever, here's the easiest way to find me.
Yeah. Right? That's a good point. I know. I'll remember that for the next one, which will probably be this weekend. So
there you go.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting, man. I asked him like, hey, have you already had a chance to look at the house online? Because I always print out a flyer and it had just the general stats, a few pictures, and normally people say, oh yeah, I looked at on Zillow or on Realtor and just want to come and take a look in person. Like I said, 3 of them, they had no idea. They saw the sign, they wanted to pop by.
Do they live in the neighborhood or are
they're so it's over off of Oakdale Road going towards Home Depot.
Okay.
So a lot of traffic.
Riverbank.
Yeah. Almost right into Riverbank. Yeah. So I thought that was really encouraging. And 2 of them at different times said, hey, you know what? We know that the market's been a nightmare the last couple of years. And so we've been kind of sitting back and waiting. And so I'm hoping that all those people that have been waiting to see it cool off are ready to go right now,
Right. I did some numbers yesterday on the show and we were talking about 50. So instead of 53% of the houses sell over asking, 52% were.
Yeah.
It was less than 1% difference. So the market hasn't really changed much. The difference is people are a little bit nicer, and people are still getting what they want for their house, but they're helping people get into their house versus before. They'll take some contingent offer now versus where they wouldn't take a contingent offer before.
Oh, correct. Yeah. Contingency. That was the big albatross around your neck, man. If you're writing an offer the last couple of years.
Yeah. They wanted you to sell your house and have that cash and then live on the street till you found your house. Right. I mean, that's basically where they wanted you to be,
man. Yeah. I was telling people, I was like, it has changed, as far as like a perspective of sellers, because there were some people who were just taking advantage of the market, and they'd be like, I want you to waive all contingencies, $30,000 or 30 grand guarantee over appraisal, 15-day escrow. You're like, whoa, man,
Yeah. And please don't take this wrong, Bay Area, but that's definitely the Bay Area coming this way.
Yeah.
Because even when, Bay Area was doing that, we weren't technically doing that. Sometimes it would happen, but then the last 2 years, because everybody was coming from the Bay, and then that's what they were used to writing. So that's what they wanted here, and then age. So that's just kind of where we went. I'm just glad we're a little bit nicer now.
Yeah. And man, I never advised the client to write counter offers like that, but I saw a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just, they want to make sure they're, it was a different, I don't want to say a different world, but it was, everybody was leaving a certain area for one reason or another. So they're coming this way. Now it's people looking just because that's where they want to live, and this is where they are. And they're seeing that now is the time. I'm seeing a lot more people seeing that now is the time. And I keep saying this, and a few other agents I know are saying this. I'm not an agent, I'm a mortgage person, but for some reason I have October in my brain, that if you're going to wish you were in contract way before October.
I can see that, and that's why I've been trying my best to tell everybody, like, let's do this right now, because I mean, it's the first time in a couple of years where we're seeing sellers are willing to, give you 1% to help buy that rate down and stuff like that. And just, 6 months ago, that was unheard of. Right. Now we're still getting full asking price or slightly above if there's multiple offers. Right. But yeah, it's a good time. I think it's a fair market right now for buyers.
Right. But it's still a seller's market, but just
is
a little bit closer past that, over on this, where's my camera, over here versus over that way, right? It's just, they can be nicer. They don't have to be take the next one. Forget that guy or that woman. Take the next one.
Well, and it's not, it's not like, they're listing the house at 565 and they're getting offers at 540, so, right. I mean, we're getting an asking price offers. So yeah, it's still a seller's market.
Price right.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the key. And that was the key the whole time. It needed to still be priced right for people to get multiple offers over.
Well, that's something we struggle with in every market, but especially, coming off this last market, sellers who are late to the game think we're still in, fall of last year. And it's just not the case. You no matter what, you have to price it right.
Right. And that's no matter what market you were in. Even the last market, you should have priced it right. And then that meant people would bid it up anyway. You know what I mean? When you price it over, people are like, that's for way over, and I don't want to insult them. Right.
Or you don't want to go another 30 grand over what the house is already overpriced. Right.
Right. So then they would adjust it. So the one thing that I did see in some of the numbers yesterday from Redfin was the fact that people are pricing it correctly versus, the ones that they've seen reduction in price where they were priced wrong to begin with.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's going to be the sellers, disagreeing, not trusting the agent.
Well, do they ever? I mean, the smart ones do, but I mean, a lot of people, it's the same thing. We do this full time, right? And then there's some people who think when they do it part time, they can tell us how it is, because that's what Google says.
Yeah, it's the constant struggle.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But, sorry, go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, pricing right. People are so savvy these days, especially folks that are on Zillow or Realtor all the time. They just kind of intuitively know. They'll be scrolling through listings every day, and they'll see a house and they'll be like, "Man, that's a cute house, but it's listed way too high. Let's not even bother looking." So.
Right. So I didn't say they weren't not smarter. I just said they know the neighborhood they want to buy. Right. But when sellers sell a house, they think their house is the best that anybody would want.
Of course.
Nobody's baby's ugly to them.
Yeah. It's really hard because like sometimes like at a listing appointment, you have to, give them bad news right up front. Be like, you know what? I think we should probably paint this room. I think, let's go ahead and get a pest inspection because I see some dry rot. I just want to make sure we don't have any surprises. And that initial, conversation of hey, that your house isn't perfect is a little hard to have.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Not everybody's house is perfect, but people, it works.
Well, I tell people, hey, I have a list that's ongoing. That's about 2 weeks worth of work if I ever want to put my house on the market. So don't feel bad. We're all there.
Do you have it on your refrigerator to cross it off each time?
It's on my desk. Yeah. I'm working on it right now.
You going to list your house?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Yeah. And I try to explain to people, there's always stuff to do on your house once you own a home. When you rent, you don't have to do any of that. The landlord has to do it, but most of the time they don't always do it. But it's like your car. I tell people it's like a car. You buy a nice car, you want to take care of it. You want to add, I want to put these different floor mats in it. I want to do this other stuff, right? And that's the difference is when it's a house that's yours, you will do stuff to it once you buy it.
Oh yeah, it's for your enjoyment, right?
Right.
One thing to keep in mind though, since we're talking about is when you do an improvement, unless you're going to live there the rest of your life, do something that is going to
that other people will want.
Yeah.
Not unique colors. You want to do a color that a lot of people would like a neutral color.
So, and something that's classic, that's going to be around forever.
Not purple.
No.
Not that I'm picking on purple if anybody likes purple. I'm just saying it's when you do a remodel or whatever you do, you should do it to where somebody else in the future is going to want what you want, not just do what you want. Because then I always tell people exactly what you just said. If you're going to do that, think about if you had to sell it today, would you be able to sell it without doing anything? And that's because you don't want to have to go back through and paint your whole house because you painted it this color that you love that nobody else loves.
Yeah. Right. Well, my first house, the color scheme was avocado green and bright pink. So
that was in back then.
I guess, man.
Was that Victorian?
No.
Oh.
No. Just I think it looked like someone got some free paint.
There you go. Well, it's important. Maybe they were just trying to make sure they covered the wood,
I guess.
So they didn't get it. Bare wood is really bad and that lets termites in.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add today before we go?
No, just that was really encouraging, man. I was really excited at that open house. Like I'm seeing people that have been sitting on the sidelines saying, I think this is the time to start asking questions. So
basically what you're saying is if you're thinking about buying a house, you better get moving on it. You better get in contact with us so we can, so I can qualify you and get you a pre-approved, the fully underwritten pre-approved so you can go out there and write that offer. Because if you keep waiting, you're going to wish you're going to be in a situation where we were just in.
Yeah. It's going to be that person's like, man, I should have bought that Apple stock back in the 80s, right? You don't want to be that guy that's always missing
Where's that hard drive of my Bitcoin I bought years ago? For $10. Where's all that? I only put $1,000 in there, but
my brother-in-law has a couple wallets he can't remember the passwords to, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But yeah, I think I have a feeling, if everything that they're predicting is going to happen, that we're going to be in a similar market come October where it's getting competitive and crazy again.
Well, I just have a feeling that rates will be a little bit lower again. We're going to, overall start going down that way because, nothing. And, we're going to be after election or close to election. I mean, we'll see how people feel. Just a lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of people, and usually June into July, they have the holidays. So people slow down. And then now they come back and they're okay, I got a month before I have to get back to school. So let's jump on this. And that's what people I think are starting to do.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, make it a great day. And Bobby, thanks for being here.
Thank you as always, Ed.
All right.